How's it going, guys? I'm Dale.
I'm Scotty.
We're from the Deep End, and you're watching the Hard Rock Show.
Woo!
Hi, welcome to the Hard Rock Show. I'm Shane,
I'm Andrew.
and as usual, we've got more than enough to get through tonight. So
We've kind of changed our format a little bit, haven't we?
yeah, we've changed it up a little bit.
Going to go a little bit longer, I reckon.
Would you say we've gotten better?
I'll leave that to the masses to decide. I'm not sure yet. I'd like to think we have, but
Yeah, we've gotten better.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're like wine. We get better with age.
I don't know. I don't mind that $6 drop that I've been drinking at the moment.
We both know that.
I'm classy. Oh well.
Neither of us are classy. Don't pretend to be classy.
All right, let's get into some news.
Yep.
Apparently, Scott Weiland has been going around saying that he's about to get back together with Velvet Revolver, and apparently that's news to everybody except for Scott Weiland. So
Apparently so.
the band got back together briefly for a little benefit type gig in
Yeah.
January, and they did a couple of songs together.
About 3 or 4, and that was about it.
Yeah, and yeah, ever since then, Scott Weiland's decided if Maynard can balance Tool in a perfect circle, why can't he balance being in Velvet Revolver and Stone Temple Pilots at the same time?
Yeah, I've got an opinion on that, and that's the fact that I don't think Maynard is chronically known for his drug addictions. Let's put it that way.
But anyway, at any rate, there's none of that is actually going on. It's complete and utter rumour.
Well, the way that Slash found out
Yeah.
is classic in and of itself. He found it on a radio station
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
DJ put it to him.
Slash got asked first thing in the morning what it was like to be jamming with Scott Weiland again, and Slash said, "What? Don't know what you're talking about." So complete news to Slash, and it was news to Duff, and it's not happening.
And Slash has come on record and said that he will not go back to that.
No.
So
I would really love to know who's going to be their new singer and when that's going to happen.
I think the whole world's waiting on that piece of news, but I think we just have to be patient because they're determined to get it right.
Yeah.
So good luck to them. Hopefully they work something out soon, but we're all waiting with bated breath, so we'll see what happens.
Definitely.
Okay, the never-ending saga of Black Sabbath is continuing. We have now, Bill Ward has been cut out, apparently at his own request, to have all of his photos removed from the Black Sabbath website that have him in them, obviously, so they're all cropped out. The fans have had a massive backlash over this. Bill has said that the contract he was offered was unsignable, not worth it to him. Geezer Butler has come out and canned that and saying, well, the whole thing wasn't really about the money at the end of the day anyway, and it's not the way it all appears to be. So that's it. It's official. Bill Ward is not going to be on the tour or the album.
No.
And
Ozzy's current drummer has been playing with Black Sabbath at the moment. It looks like he'll probably be the guy that fills the seat.
well, he already did one gig with them, the Birmingham show.
Only a couple of nights ago.
Yep, and that apparently went really well and everything was good. But yeah, it's just a disappointing fact, I think, in my mind, that they couldn't get it together and work it out at the end of the day.
Yeah, but at any rate, hopefully they come out here early next year for maybe Soundwave or Big Day Out or something like that. That'd be awesome. Depending on Tony Iommi's health, of course.
That's it. That's the most important thing of all, I think. I think we all want to see that man continue, so we'll be hoping and praying for his speedy recovery, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Now, Devin Townsend, the mad scientist of metal,
Yeah. Yes.
as a lot of people refer to him, is about to release just an epic box set of music.
This sounds so good.
On June 18th, it's going to come out, June 18th this year, so we're looking at only 3 weeks away or something like that. Last year in England, somewhere, he did four nights, and he played each of his solo albums, so Kai and Ghosts and the other two, whatever they're called, I can't remember off the top of my head. And this DVD, CD package is going to have 4 DVDs, 1 disc for each night,
Yeah.
so 1 disc for each album, and then it'll be 5 CDs, audio CDs, of, again, 1 disc for each night, and then a bonus disc that has all the encores where he did some strapping young lad material and a bit of his other stuff, which his back catalogue is absolutely massive.
Big work.
So that's an awesome package, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that because, Devin Townsend is an absolute genius, and I'm a huge fan.
Well, I only saw him very recently, and he blew my mind. That was the first time I'd had a chance to see him, and that was an awesome gig. So if these DVDs come off anything like that, it's going to be unbelievable to watch that and just sit back and enjoy it.
Yeah, totally.
Another never-ending saga. This one relates to Van Halen. Now, they've postponed a whole bunch of the dates. I think it equates to about half of their tour.
31 dates.
Yeah, and the reason they're doing that is they're citing they don't want to get burned out on tour. They want to be able to put on the best show possible all around for everyone involved and not get into a point where it's just all robotic and by the numbers, so to speak. So they've done that. Now, there's been a big thing because a source of Rolling Stone has come out and said that they're arguing and infighting and it's all over and da-da-da-da-da. David Lee Roth has himself come out and said that's not the case. The band is going strong. Everyone's getting along. It's all good. Just going to do things so they can do it right this time around.
Yeah. Now, we just watched a video that David Lee Roth's done a couple of minutes ago.
In overalls?
Yeah. Bit of a strange video, but he talks about dates that haven't even been mentioned yet, like coming to Australia and doing
I hope so.
Japan dates and promising some big things in the States, including monster trucks. I don't know if that was some kind of metaphor or what he was getting at there, but, come to Australia. I'm looking forward to it. Make it happen.
I think everyone's looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
It's been a long time since they were here, so...
Absolutely.
Yes.
So that's about all we've got in the way of news this week.
Yep.
Moving on now.
To the releases.
Yeah.
First of which is the new release from Slash.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a long-awaited release because it hasn't been that long between drinks.
No. Now, we've only just got a hold of this.
Yes.
And it's a phenomenal CD.
We rushed it straight to the top of the pile.
Oh, yeah. We both love Slash, in case people don't know us enough by now, but this CD, if you can, there's a deluxe edition of it, and if you can get the deluxe edition with the DVD, get it because it's purely worth it for the 2 bonus tracks that come with it.
I agree.
Yeah.
As far as bonus tracks go, they're normally throwaway tracks that shouldn't see the light of day, but kind of cool if they do. These are worthy of being up the front end of the album. They're good tracks.
I find it hard to believe they're just bonus tracks, and they were the ones that sort of didn't make the cut.
Definitely.
They're phenomenal tracks.
Now, Slash's last album obviously had a revolving door of singers. It was him working with a lot of singers that he wanted to work with. And in doing that, he did 2 songs with Miles Kennedy, and obviously they built up a bit of a rapport, a bit of a working relationship. And Miles handles all the vocal duties on this new album. And I can't say enough about how much of a great singer he is. I love his work with Alter Bridge.
Yep.
He's fantastic live. We've seen him live with Slash, and I've seen him live with Alter Bridge. Great singer.
Yep.
And I think it's his vocals that stand out and have led me to pick my 2 favourite tracks off the record.
Which are? Go for it.
Well, Anastasia is an absolute highlight of the record for me.
Yep.
And then the last track of the official album, not including the bonus tracks, is called Shots Fired.
Yep.
Really love that track. The first time I heard that hooked me straight away.
Yep.
And then there's also the single You're a Lie, which I think is a great track. And it's just a fantastic album, but they're probably my 3 favourites.
My top 2 would be Anastasia. Again, I just love the use of an old piece of classical music in there on the guitar. It's just a phenomenal piece of work. And the lead single, You're a Lie. That song gets stuck in my head so easy. We were both singing it before we came in here to film.
Yes, we were.
And I can't get enough of that album, but those 2 tracks stand out. And I think the best thing about this one is it feels more like a band did it together this time. It's not better or worse, it's just good in a different way to the last album. It's just a great thing. So, yeah, if you're going to get one album, go and get this one for sure.
Now, for something completely different.
Yes.
Huntress. You might have seen us posting a video clip of Huntress constantly on our Facebook page because we both love this song.
Yes.
It's called 8 of Swords. But the album is actually called Spell Eater.
Yep.
And it's just been released, and it's fantastic. It's real traditional metal, female-fronted band. Jill Janis is her name, and she's smoking hot. She's been in Playboy, and she does her live gigs wearing next to nothing.
But she love that.
She is a really good vocalist as well. And at a time where, and I'm not taking the piss out of Arch Enemy or anything here, at a time where Arch Enemy and that is the sort of standard that chicks in metal do.
Yep.
Jill Janis is doing a lot more of her own thing, a lot more operatic.
Yeah, to a point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But it's their debut album.
Yep.
It's awesome. Now, the bass player is actually from a band called Gypsy Hawk, who
Yep.
we'll be talking about further down this season because
Yep.
we got a submission from them and they're
Yep.
really cool. But Huntress, I got two favourite songs
Yep.
off there.
Go for it.
One is the lead single, Eight of Swords,
Yep.
that we've been posting the video of weekly, I guess, because it's just awesome.
It is a
And
phenomenal track.
the other one for me is the title track, Spell Eater.
Yep.
I love both those tracks. And they're epic songs on this album too.
Yeah.
Real lengthy and really cool.
This whole album goes back to the old school sort of thrash in some respects. It's got a very dark tone to it. It's really well done.
Yeah.
Her vocals are really cold-blooded. They really stand out for the strength and the raw power in them. My top two tracks off this one are, again, Eight of Swords. Love that track. Can't put it down. I reckon it stands head and shoulders above the rest of the album, which is not bad for the rest of the album. It's just one of those tracks that just leaps out at you. And the other one is Snow Witch. I love that track as well. It's a good one.
Cool.
Yep.
Now, the next one, again, is something different.
Yep.
It's Nemec and their new album, Nemesis.
Yes.
Very, very cool band. Really industrial. I know this is your first taste of Nemec,
Yep,
and
it is.
you've fallen sort of instantly in love with them.
I can't help it, man. I was more into industrial than I was into rock and metal, the first thing that I got into. And I love this stuff. I got this album and I've sat back and gone, where the hell has this been for so long? I love this stuff. I went and saw, as I said before, Devon Townsend, and before that was Meshuggah, the same night, same bill. And I reckon these guys would have slotted in right in between perfectly. They're a good crossover with a bit of Fear Factory and stuff in there, and I love it. And I adore this album. I listened to it on repeat because I couldn't get enough of it. I reckon it's fantastic. I had to pick two tracks. Hard to do, but I did pick two. And I went with Transcend and Blue Desert in a Black Hole.
Well, my favourites are the actual title track, Nemesis, and Haven at the End of the World.
Yeah.
I really dig those two tracks. But this album wasn't actually my first taste
No.
of Nemec. I've known about them for a while, and my favourite album by them is still Audio Injected Soul. I reckon the older stuff is still much better. It's got more of a Fear Factory vibe to it, and I am a massive fan of Fear Factory.
Yes,
you
are.
can't see it right now, but I've even got a Fear Factory tattoo. So
Yeah.
um,
Good luck putting that on camera.
yeah, it's not anywhere. It's not on my ass.
And it's not around the front side either. Let's just leave the conversation there, will we?
Leave it that. Now, the last release for this week is again something completely different.
Yeah, we've gone a bit diverse this week.
Yeah, we've changed it up a hell of a lot.
Yes.
Trickster.
Yep.
Cool band. They haven't been around for
A long
a
time.
long time. This is their first record in 20 years. Now, the record is called New Audio Machine,
Yes.
and I reckon it's awesome. I'm a real sucker for that 80s kind of stuff.
Yeah.
This has got, and yes, you're about to find out why I'm such a sucker for it.
Yeah.
Real Skid Row kind of sound to it.
You love your Skid Row. You love Sebastian Bach. You always
Absolutely
have.
love Skid Row.
Yeah.
But there's a real Bon Jovi, New Jersey kind of feel to
Yeah,
it, and
yeah.
not in that shit Bon Jovi way.
No.
It's
It's the back.
it's good Bon
Yeah.
Jovi.
It's come back to the heyday.
Yeah, and you know it's got a bit of everything from the 80s, a bit of Poison, sort of Warrant.
Got all your glam in there as well. Yeah.
It's real cool stuff, and I actually enjoy this one from start to finish. I
Yeah.
really like it. Favorite songs for me:
Yep.
Dirty Love,
Yep.
Drag Me Down, and Live for the Day.
Yep.
I really love those three, and it was hard for me to pick three favorites.
Yeah. This is right up your alley, this kind of stuff, and I know that you'd find this one hard. I managed to limit myself to two, which was Dirty Love, again, a phenomenal track. You can't go past it. And Physical Attraction, I love that one a lot. I think that it's a really solid, good comeback for a band that's been on hiatus, in effect, for 20 years. It's a really good, solid return.
Yeah, I have no idea. I haven't looked into it too much, whether the band members went on to do other things in that 20-year period or if they just weren't playing. But either way,
Welcome back.
yeah, I'm happy to have them back because
Yeah.
this album's cool, really cool. But that's all we've got for releases this week. Okay, so for our clip of the week, we've got a Melbourne band by the name of the Scarlets.
Yes.
Awesome band.
Yeah.
They formed in about 2009.
Yep.
And since then, they've toured Germany. They played with Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Speaking of Bon Jovi earlier. They've released 2 EPs.
Yep.
The first of which was Blow Your House Down. Now, we've picked a couple of favourites off these EPs.
Yep.
So my couple of favourites, or my only favourite off this one, and that's
Yep.
not to say that the rest of the EP's bad,
Yep.
is Runaway. It's the last track on the EP,
Yep.
and I reckon it's really cool.
I went with Dirty Rock Baby. I reckon that's a really good standout track. And where Jill Janis was cold-blooded in her vocals, Nellie Scarlett, I believe that's her name, yep. She's hot-blooded in her vocals, if you know what I mean. And there's a real sort of blood rush to this sort of stuff. It's got a sort of slightly punkier kind of a vibe to it. Really energetic stuff.
There's a hell of a lot of influences on this. I can
Yeah.
hear a bit of everything from punk rock to pop to
Yeah.
to metal to glam to, everything's going on. Grunge, bit of everything in there, which is really cool. It makes for a really cool mix.
Yeah.
But their latest EP is Bombshell. And I think that this is probably the better of the 2 EPs, to be honest.
It picks up right where the other one left off
Yeah.
and takes to another step. I
But
think.
there's also a lot of growth and a bit more of a maturity to the songwriting and things like that as well. But,
growth is always good. I find that to be really important when you're dealing with bands. And these guys are pretty good workers, so they put out a couple of... I think it's an EP a year at the moment, which is a pretty good rate to go.
I'm looking forward to whatever they do next. Hopefully something soon.
Yep.
But my personal favourite off this is Out of Here.
Yep.
Which, again, is the final track on the EP, which is a bit funny. But
They seem to leave you with a wanting more type of vibe. So.
They must do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
I went with Witness, and both of mine are middle of the range, middle of the track list sort of tracks. But yeah, they're really good, catchy sort of songs. Different again to everything else we've talked about tonight, but this is a really good EP, and looking forward to what's to come from these guys.
Yeah. Well, anyway, let's have a look at the clip of the week, which is Bombshell, off the EP Bombshell by the Scarlets.
Wiggle lips and lips like
Okay, feature artist time.
Yes.
Now, we don't like to be biased or anything when it comes to these artists that we call our feature artists every week.
We try to go out of our way to not be biased, actually. We do make a point of this, just so you are all aware of it.
But right now, I'm going to make no bones about the fact that we both absolutely love the Deep End.
We've seen them countless times now, too.
We love their music.
Yep.
We love the guys. They're a lot of fun to hang around with. They're a lot of
Yep.
fun to watch play. And
They never fail to impress in anything they do.
yeah, they're definitely well and truly worthy of being our feature artist this week. And they are just well and truly worthy of going on to great big heights in their career.
Yeah. We did mention them briefly last season, but it wasn't a feature, and this time around we've gone bang straight into it. So that's why we're devoting this time to these guys, because they are worthy of it.
Yep. Now, they formed in 2007,
Yep.
thereabouts,
Yep.
and they've done 3 EPs. The first EP was Lights Out.
Yep.
We haven't heard that one.
No.
We've heard the songs off it,
Yep.
but we don't actually have a copy of it.
No.
But second EP, Can't Say No.
Yes.
Fantastic.
And you can't say no to this one.
No, you can't.
You wouldn't want to.
No, hooks you in straight away. And, I mean, off the back of this EP, they've got gigs with Airborne, The Angels, Rose Tattoo.
Yep.
They're just killing it. They're going to go places. They're going to go reach heights that so many bands in Melbourne probably
Aspire to.
deserve to
Yeah.
reach, but the Deep End are going to get there.
And they're probably one of the first ones to get there out of the scene that's building at the moment.
Totally.
Yep.
Now, this one was the first one that we heard by the Deep End.
Yeah, that was our first taste of them.
Loved it.
Yep.
Got sucked in by it.
Big time.
Got a favourite track off it?
Yeah, I've gone and picked off of that one. Don't Rip Me Off. I had to look for that one. But yeah, that's the one I like. And it's got a really good bluesy sort of a vibe to it. Really good balls out hard rock. This stuff is just right up the same vein as sort of the AC/DCs and Airbornes and all that sort of stuff. With their own spin on it. It's got a bit of a Guns N' Roses in it as well. It's got a bit of everything that's just good classic hard rock. And the live versus the CD recording there's no difference in it. It just goes from strength to strength. It's just all balls out. You got no complaints with this at all.
My favourite off the first EP that we had.
Yep.
Can't Say No, would have to be Take Your Shot Girl.
Yep.
I really, really enjoyed that song. I enjoy that song even more live.
Yep.
But like you were saying, if you take everything that Guns N' Roses did that was kind of dangerous on Appetite for Destruction, and then smashed it together with the pub rock Aussie vibe of Rose Tattoo, The Angels, and what Airborne have been doing more recently, that's when you end up with the Deep End. And that's just an awesome combination in my mind, and
it works.
It really, really works.
Yeah.
And I mean, you watch these guys on stage, and you've got the bass player that plays while he's hopping on one leg with the bass under his other leg. You've got guitarists spinning in circles. You don't know whether someone's going to get collected with a headstock or.
I don't know how they haven't actually managed to clean each other up yet on stage in the times that we've seen them. They have that much energy. They leave nothing in the tank, period. If you see them for half an hour or an hour, they leave nothing. It's all on stage, and they're dripping when they get off, man.
Oh, yeah. And the energy that they put in is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're young, and they've got that energy to spare.
Unlike some of us.
I've stood there and I've watched bands that have played before them or that are about to play after them, and they just shake their heads and they think, how in the hell are we going to follow that? Or how in the hell did we have a hope of opening for them? And, and that's the Deep End in a nutshell. They just blow you away.
And they're getting a reputation for this, and the reputation is very well deserved.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, the second EP came along late last year.
Yep.
About November. And, yeah, it was November. And we actually went along to the launch gig, and then we called it. We put it up there in our top 10 gigs of the year. And that was including international gigs.
Yep.
And I think it actually came in at about number 3.
Yeah, it was way up there.
That gig was just phenomenal.
Yep.
So I highly recommend that anytime you get a chance to go and see the Deep End, go and see them. Now, the EP that we're talking about that they launched in November is Your Shout. another fantastic CD. This one's only got 4 tracks on it,
Yep.
but
So much more development in this EP, though. It's only 4 tracks, but it shows you how much growth they've gone through in their
leaps
time.
and bounds.
Yeah.
Especially on my particular
Yep.
favourite track of the record, which is Just Waiting.
Yep.
I absolutely love that track, and it's something that us and a lot of bands around Melbourne and Australia in particular can relate to, because it's sort of about waiting for your time.
To arrive,
Yeah.
literally. It's just
Sick of being
yep.
stuck in a dead-end day job.
Yep.
You're waiting for your time to arrive, and
Yep.
we can all relate to that. So that's actually my particular favourite song. On
If
the
you
track,
can't relate to that, get off the doll.
or the gear.
Yeah, pretty much. My favourite for this one was DTF. Now, I'm not going to explain the meaning of that. If you can't work it out by now, well, then I don't know why you're watching this show. But I love that track. And again, it's one of those tracks that shows more growth. And I don't know, I can't say enough good words about these guys. They're fantastic blokes to hang around with and talk to. And they've got nothing but good time for anyone to have. And they're fantastic. And they... Like I said, they leave everything on stage. They leave nothing behind.
Such hard workers as well.
Yeah.
They'll drive to Queensland for the weekend just to do a show.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, phenomenal.
But let's have a look at an interview that we did with the boys.
Yep.
A highly entertaining interview.
Yes.
Yeah, we sat down with them in this very room and
Had a lot of fun.
Yeah. Take a look.
All right, we're here with Dale and Scotty from the Deep End.
How you doing?
Good, mate. How are you?
Not bad. So tell us a bit about the band. Where'd you get your start?
Well, yeah, I'm probably the best at this because I was the longest, so
Longest serving member, veteran.
the best in the band.
Yeah.
By the way. No, probably about 4 years ago, we got together at my house, and
4 years ago. Where have the other 2 years gone?
6 years ago.
Good start. Good start.
Well, I can't count. All right. 6 years ago, we got together, and yeah, we just wanted to play rock songs, and we thought the best way of doing it was our own way. And yeah, we sort of recruited Dale a couple months in, didn't we? And then we sort of went through a few members, and here we are today in your bedroom, having a good chat.
Studio. Giving it away. You've given it away now.
We're not in his bedroom.
Just don't look at the cameras the other way. Like, don't face another way, because in that closet over
We're not in his bedroom.
there's all these chains and shackles and stuff.
But yeah, no, that's basically how the band started, and that's I don't know. That's just how it is, and we haven't changed. And
More or less started off as like an idea just to play covers and have fun and stuff like that, and then just sort of evolved. We played our first gig at like a town hall, and I think we only did we only had 2 original songs by that stage, and that was obviously absolute rubbish then. And the rest of the set was just covers, and we loved it that much that we decided that this is what we have to do now. Like, we have to keep writing more songs of our own and take it further and further.
So tell us a bit about your most recent release.
yeah, well, we did it at the Basin Studio with Matt Darcy, and it's just 4 tracks, 1 cover, 3 of our own, and our best work yet, I suppose. Yeah, just hard rock and
It was
a few A's.
we sort of had a bit of an idea that we wanted to use. We wanted to record something that we could use to promote the band, and we sort of did a bit of shopping around, and we ended up going with Matt Darcy, just because we'd heard some stuff that he'd done, and he sort of worked with us, not just for us, and so we really liked the idea of having sort of like a 6-member in the band at the time that we could record, so everything was collaborated together. And he was straight up about everything. Like, he was the first to tell us if he didn't like something or if something needed to be better. So we were all about achieving a bigger goal whilst we were even just in the studio. Like, we went in there thinking that we were ready, and within the first couple of hours of starting that recording process, he's already saying, nah, try this, nah, try that. And at first we sort of was set back by it, but we wouldn't want it to be any other way now, because he actually brought out a lot more in us than we actually thought we could in that process.
He almost like, we saw the songs a certain way, and he saw where they could go, I suppose, and we sort of met in between, or
Yeah, well, that's
and they
it.
just grew, and they were just a better product, just from his advice and his ideas. It's just a different way of looking at it compared to what we were blinded by, if that
Yeah.
sort of makes sense.
Play one song so many times and you're so used to it that you forget what else could be happening.
Yeah. So, neither of you mentioned what the name of the EP actually was.
I can't
Just
remember
for
it.
anybody that doesn't know it.
Pretty good at promoting. Really good at promoting.
It's called Your Shout,
Is
by
it?
the way. Is it?
Yeah.
I actually did forget. I was about to say A grade Warren, but that's a great song, by the way. But
I could tell you everything about it if you want. It's called Your Shout. Yeah, it was released on 25th of November 2011 at the ESPY. I knew that much. Should. Organised.
we were all there.
Done well to
We were
remember.
all there. We were all there that night.
But yeah, it's on iTunes and stuff, so yeah, get amongst it.
Awesome. Now, what was the decision to put a cover on a 4-track EP all about?
That's the hardest decision.
It was a weird one, definitely, and like I guess where even though a lot of people sort of see the band as playing in a genre that's been done before, and you get all these people that are kind of negative about it, sort of saying, oh, you know, you're never going to do this, or you're never going to make it, or blah blah blah, because you know AC/DC's done it and fucking rah rah rah. To go with something that someone else has already done again, we wouldn't just do a cover for the sake of covering a song exactly the same way it was done. And then that's where What's Up came into it.
Yep.
I remember Scotty came into rehearsal and he goes, guys, fucking completely random idea, but why don't we do a cover of 4 Non-Blondes What's Up? I was like, no, we're not 4 lesbians, or I think there's only 1 or 2 lesbians in the band, but it just means they like what we like, but still.
Yeah, I think there's a dude in there as well.
Is there a dude in there? Okay.
For sure. He's not a lesbian.
So, yeah, it was really sort of left field, but then we started playing it and we wrote it again the way that we wanted to play it. And when it came to picking the songs that we wanted on the EP, we just couldn't go past it because we really thought that it was something that we'd done so differently that people could appreciate our take on it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was kind of our decision to go with that.
And there's a little bit of a lyric change at the very beginning of it as well.
Good pickup. Yeah. Someone's done their homework.
How does that come into play?
Yeah.
It was
actually Matt Darcy's idea.
You didn't want to sing the Brotherhood of Man, that's why.
No, I don't really give 2 fucks about the Brotherhood of Man. So Matt Darcy, and he sort of said, look, you're not a big lesbian, Dale. I said, I try to be, but I'm not.
You like women, but...
And he said, why don't you change the lyrics to Brotherhood of Bands? Because essentially you guys are all working to achieve one common goal, and you know you're all struggling to do it at times, and then you're all having great moments. So why don't you change it to Brotherhood of Bands? Fucking cool idea.
Yeah, I really like that idea because there is a bit of a brotherhood of bands going on in amongst the Melbourne scene, particularly at the moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, who would you consider to be part of the brotherhood of the deep end bands? Yeah.
Dead City Ruins, for sure.
Yeah, Dead City Ruins.
Fast Track were when they were around. They were definitely.
In a way, like Electric Dynamite. You got bands like Overdrive as well. Dead Star Renegade.
Yeah, for sure.
Destroy She Said. My Dynamite. Shit,
Rock
so
City
many more.
Riff
Rock
Raff
City
when they
Riff
were
Raff.
around, yeah.
There's just so many great bands in Melbourne at the
Yeah,
moment.
and it seems like, I don't know, like every time you sort of looking to see who else is doing something in Melbourne, like you see this new Melbourne band pop up, a lot of them aren't even originally from Melbourne. There's a lot of bands moving from the rest of Australia to come here, like they see the opportunity that Melbourne's presenting, and I guess we're really blessed in Melbourne to have so many venues that we can play at. Like, I know a lot of us complain about it, and obviously we wish there was more. We wish that half the places that we played were rock nights or metal nights or even just live music every night, but a lot of them want to be DJs and stuff, but still we're pretty lucky what we've got.
Yeah, we've sort of got the best, don't we?
Yeah, in Australia,
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, you guys are just absolute road dogs. You're always doing a show in Melbourne. If you're not in Melbourne, you're Adelaide, Sydney, Queensland. How do you keep up with it all?
We don't.
Look at us.
I look
We are.
haggard right now. Thanks for the makeup, by the way.
Yeah, I'm 22, but I'm pushing 45. Look, you got to do it. I mean, at some stage in your career, I guess, if you can call it a career, I mean, it's a bit of a hobby, I guess, more than anything as well. You sort of get to the stage where you go, oh, I'm sick of playing Melbourne. Like, I want to play elsewhere, and the whole adventure comes into it. So we're not sick of it at all. Yeah, sure. Like, we get a bit narky with each other and stuff, as I'm sure all bands do, regardless of whether they're flying first class in jets and they've been doing it for years, or whether they're just doing it in the back of the van like we are. You stink, you fucking never eat properly, you always feel sick, you get sick because the other person next to you is sick, and then all of a sudden everyone's got AIDS. Well, not necessarily AIDS, but
I've got it.
Getting there.
Sure.
He's trying to share it around, but he hasn't had any luck yet.
You'll get it. Don't you worry about that.
But yeah, we feel like we've got so much more to see as well. Like going up to Queensland, and these guys having to do that drive. 21 hours straight driving. We're just really lucky that when we get up there, there's people that come to see us, and we wouldn't do it otherwise. And knowing that that's there, and knowing that we can actually build on that as well, it gives us more motivation to go again. And we can't wait to get back on the road. Like every time we come back, as fucked as we are, it's like, when can we go again?
Yeah, and you just find a way of lifting. Like that big drive to Queensland, we got there, we were exhausted. We had no right to play. Like we were dead. But you realise you got 40 minutes to give these people everything you got. And you just do it. You just get up there and do it, and then just sleep later.
It's like a second wind after you've done it as well. Like you actually feel better after you've played, even though you've just put out so much energy than you did when you actually arrived at the gig and you saw how cool everything was. Like you've just done it, you've given them what you wanted, and you're getting that feedback and you get that response, and it's like, yes, here we go.
Yeah, totally.
Party's on.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that people should come to your show to see?
Scotty half naked. It's guaranteed to happen. Scotty goes to shows to get half naked.
That's the only reason I play in the band now. It gives me a reason to get naked in front of people, and I don't get in trouble for it.
Yeah.
Like if I do it at the park, then I get in trouble.
There's been times. Look, on a serious note though, I said the S word.
You did.
Said the S word in a Hard Rock Show interview.
That means you've got a drink.
And
Anyway.
Yeah, so all jokes aside,
Seriously.
fucking idiot. I don't know. I feel like even though we are, with those bands that we mentioned before, we're doing similar things. We've got a similar sound. We pride ourselves on that energy that we give on stage, and I don't know if there's that many other bands that can give the same sort of on-stage show that we can. Sure, there's plenty of bands that have got great energy and stuff, but it all gets channeled in a different way. And I think our music is enhanced by the way that we are on stage as well. So I think for people to actually come and see us, as opposed to just listen to us, they get the whole package, because we're a live band before we're a CD band. Like, we would much rather play in front of 100,000 people than sell 10,000 records. We want that people to actually have that involvement, have that engagement with us, and we feed off it just as much. If we stand up there giving our everything and people are sort of standing back, a bit hesitant about it, we're still going to go hard, but the second they really start getting into it, we go to another level.
Yep.
And we want that more and more. So the more people that come to see us and the more people that get into it, who knows, you might just see us do something really stupid.
We look forward to that moment.
As do we.
Pretty sure it happens a lot.
Oh, it happens a lot. We've got some videos coming up soon on Facebook and YouTube that you'll see some really stupid shit. You've already seen some.
I've seen some of it. Now, the influence of the Aussie pub scene, the Angels, Rose Tattoo, that's clearly there.
Yeah.
And you guys have been lucky enough to play with both of those bands.
Yeah.
You've also played with Airborne. Who else are some of your influences, and who would you love to play with? Who would you like to share the stage with?
We've all got so many different ones, I think, as well. Like, there's a lot that we share in common. Obviously, all the Aussie pub rock bands, the Angels, AC/DC, Rose Tattoo, Hoodoo Gurus. Like, they're another one that we were lucky enough to play with. Screaming Jets, lucky to play with them. But then we sort of, broaden our horizons a bit, and I like sort of bands like Escape the Fate, who are sort of more post-hardcore sort of bands. Like, I know Trixie likes a lot of that stuff. He loves Parkway Drive, for example. JD, biggest Led Zeppelin fan. He just got fucking Led
Alter
Zeppelin
Bridge,
tattooed on his lips. He's got a massive Alter Bridge, like the bird, or the blackbird, like tattooed across his chest. Scotty loves Motorhead, like Amy Winehouse.
She's a babe. So.
Scotty's probably got the most random CD collection of all of us.
That's probably true, yeah.
But yeah, like, to other bands to play with, I mean, all the big ones, like, if Guns N' Roses were still Guns N' Roses, I'd still play with Axl and band. Just
Like the darkness.
the darkness, man. That's one we
Motorhead.
all share in common. Motorhead, Led
AC/DC.
Zeppelin, obviously AC/DC would be the pinnacle for us. Kiss, another really good band that we're really into. Def Leppard, mate, we could honestly go on all day.
Yeah, everyone. We just play with anyone that wants to play with us. We'll
Yeah,
play.
if you guys want a gig with the deep end,
help us out.
help us out.
Give us some money.
That's it. Well, we don't really care about the money. Just bring
I
your
want the
fans for
money.
us to steal. That's cool. Cheers. Jimmy Barnes, Cold Chisel.
Jimmy Barnes,
All
yeah.
Yeah,
about
Jimmy
it.
Barnes would be cool to play with.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Have you heard of them before, Rolling
Nah.
Stones?
No, they're good. I like Rolling Stones. The
Ah.
Beatles, they were great.
I think they got
We can't
formed
play
after
them,
that
though.
One Direction band broke up or something.
One Direction, I want to play with them.
They're too
Hey,
busy-
you
they're
said
too
the
busy
people
playing with themselves.
They have a massive crowd.
of
Oh,
screaming
sorry.
14-year-old. Oh, screaming 14-year-olds.
Give them a couple of footy seasons and then... Did I go there? I did. Do you want to hold this? I think I did it.
So, how do you want to finish this interview off?
Quickly.
Is it getting really hot in here?
Yeah.
You can learn how to hold this again.
So you spoke about all the different influences that you guys have as a band. Does that ever come into play or even complicate the songwriting process when you're putting together the next deep end recording?
I wouldn't say it complicates it. It definitely
Makes it
it
interesting.
expands it though. I reckon it's kind of cool because we all sort of do in a sense a bit of a share of the songwriting. Like every now and then someone will come up with a riff, and that's how 99% of our songs start. Just with a riff, goes to rehearsal. Guys, what do you reckon of this? And then we build around it. I don't think Trixie's come, unfortunately, and it's not unfortunately because it's kind of cool actually. That Trixie's come to a rehearsal without a riff that's not in drop D, and that's because that's his style. Like that's a lot of the stuff that he listens to, and even when you turn it up to standard tuning, which is what we've sort of always been about, it still sounds really cool. And a lot of his stuff has sort of transformed into deep end songs. And yeah, everyone, like Jazz is more punchy probably on guitar, Scotty's a bit more laid back, sort of sits in it a bit. Even JD plays a lot of guitar as well, so everyone's got that different sort of influence. And like, I guess probably Trixie's bass playing is probably the best example of how different of an influence he can put on the final sound, because I personally don't think that there's any rock band or just straight up rock and roll band that has a bass player that plays like he does, because he's just doing so much and it just fits in so tightly. Well, we hope anyways. It's not just the straight playing with whatever, in the key that it's happening. It's so different.
And he can play on one leg with his bass under his leg.
Yeah,
His other
and he
leg.
does stupid shit like that.
And try to pick up people.
And
Kill
wears a
them.
bum bag every now and then.
And a balaclava.
Balaclava.
Or a
And a
balaclava
balaclava.
show.
Just drinks more goon than I've seen anyone ever be
And
able
then
to handle.
and just yells into the mic a lot.
Has a Mighty Boosh tattoo. It's pretty cool.
Interesting bloke.
Oh, man.
Come and meet him. That's one reason why you should come to our
That
shows.
is- you don't need any more reason. Just come meet Trixie. He's just a freak.
It's funny.
He's loose.
Good guy.
We're answering your questions with like 2 or 3 answers.
That's good. I
We're
like
good at
that.
that.
Makes my job easy.
Alright, sweet.
Halves the questions you have to answer.
That's right.
I'm glad you said that, Dale, because
So you had an EP come out less than 4 months ago, or just on 4 months ago.
Yep.
What's next?
album.
Da-dum.
Bum, 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 bum. Update. Yeah, Deep End album. So
Our first.
our first, yeah, definitely a lot of hard work going into this one, because we're sort of seeing where we're going, and we think to make the next big step for us, like we want to become an international touring band. We don't think that we can do it without the backing of an album.
Yeah. You got to sell a product, don't you? Really? Like,
Yeah, you got to be going for a reason. Basically, it's going to be all new, original stuff. We're working night and day at the moment, writing these songs. Actually going pretty well.
Got some bangers.
Got some rippers
Real bangers.
ready to go. I think 6 or 7 songs ready to go. Hoping to have maybe 20 odd to pick out of. Not saying there'll be 20 on the album, because probably can't afford to record 20, and it's probably not really ideal.
Don't want to do Use Your Illusions 1 and 2.
Nah, not at this stage.
We dumped that idea.
In about 2 or 3 years, when I feel more Axl Rosy, I'll do it. More Axl Rosy in the cheeks.
That was the worst show I've ever
That
heard.
was a really shit
That
show.
was fucking terrible.
We can edit that bit out.
I love how we all.
And now that I said we can edit that bit out, it'll just be on repeat.
I just love how we all stopped and going. Yeah, that was
Repeat now.
shocking.
The entire blooper reel is going to be you going Rosie in the cheeks.
And then I was just like,
Cheeks.
all right. But we're looking at starting that
Yeah.
September, October,
Maybe even earlier. We
maybe earlier.
Yeah, you don't know.
I just knew this. Just
He
found
doesn't
it.
know about this yet.
Inform me, Dal.
doesn't know
How are we
about
going
this
with this album?
I'm just calling a band meeting right now, guys in the band. You have to watch this interview.
This is the meeting.
This is what happens.
We're telling you what's going on.
We're gonna actually attempt, and I say attempt now because we're still working on it. Have a single and a music video with the single to go before the album's released, and then have the album out hopefully around about November. So we'll be in the recording studio well and truly before then. Want to give ourselves a fair bit of time. The last couple have been a bit more rushed. To us, over time, it's kind of shown. We sort of sit there and at first we love it, and we still love them now, but after a while we start going, oh, fuck, I reckon we could have done that better, I reckon we could have done that better. At the end of the day, we're always going to be our own biggest critics. I guess you can't really escape that, but we're definitely going in this time a lot more prepared, a lot more time up our sleeves, and I'm really excited for people to start hearing some of these songs because it's going to stay pretty the same, but there's perks and twists and rosy cheeks here and there.
A bit more. We're trying to evolve a bit, I suppose.
Yeah, evolve again.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Try to.
All right, well, that's about all we've got time for. So thanks for your time, guys. It's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you,
It
man.
has been
Thanks for
fun,
having us.
hasn't it?
It has.
Real fun, real civilized.
Very civilised.
Yeah, didn't get out of control once.
Nah.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that interview. I know that we enjoyed doing it,
Yes, absolutely.
and obviously we can't speak for the deep end, but I'm pretty sure that they had a ball doing it too.
That was the vibe.
Yeah. Now, the exciting part that you might have heard in that interview is that the boys are actually recording their first full-length album.
Yep.
And I know that we cannot wait for that.
Both dying for it.
If it's anything like their previous material, it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
But until then, until
Next time.
next time, get out to see some gigs,
Absolutely.
buy the local music,
Support it.
support us,
Yes, hopefully.
but most importantly, drink up.
Rock on.
Oh, let's get the fuck out of the sauna.
Yeah, you know.